Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate, coming at you with a new review of the bottle that we got at the Bourbon Junkies Pours in the Park. I'm going to be reviewing the bottle. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a recap of the event. But first and foremost, I'm going to be releasing this video. I'm shooting it August 22nd, but I'm going to be releasing it Tuesday, August 23rd. Just got to give a huge happy birthday to my brother Tim, who turns 30 today. So make sure you light up in the comments happy birthday to Tim. He'll enjoy that. And I'll be hanging out with him and his family and in-laws at a cottage down on Lake Erie. We'll be spending the day together, and we might be drinking some of this. Bourbon Junkies Pours in the Park happened over this past weekend, and it was such a fantastic event. A lot of people were asking questions like comparing it to Whiskey Weekend. I'll just say they're both fantastic events, but there's some differences that make them their own unique thing. Both are fantastic. You should definitely go to both. Bourbon Junkies Pours in the Park. Started Friday night. People got in Thursday. Some people got in a little bit before then. Some people were hanging out Thursday night. And then Friday night, we had a VIP event at Valentine's Distilling Company, who does Mayor Pingree. And part of the event was getting a bottle of the blend that Sean did with their distiller master blender. Justin is the guy. So this is that. It's got the sticker on it here. And that was a fantastic event. Got to meet so many people. Some people from crossover from Whiskey Weekend, like Grease was there. Fortunately, Will was not. Will, you were missed. Got to see Dan and Julie Like, Matt Porter, a bunch of, obviously Dan and Sean because it's their event. Just a lot of people, Jeffrey Wack, Thrasher. I'm going to miss people, so I apologize. But then got to meet some people that I hadn't met yet. Dara, Average Drinker, Michelle from Women of Whiskeys, her husband William, Shayla from Whiskey Central. Got to see Cheech, who is Whiskey Encore, and then his lovely wife Jen, who is a contributor to Women of Whiskeys. Got to see, who else? The Shelf Turds, WhiskeyChannel.com, Dave and Kira were there. Nate from Bubble Bath Bourbon. It was just so many people, and it was just a fantastic event. And so it was really cool. I was not expecting this. There was a lot of really good swag that we got, including this bottle, but a lot of it was specific to, it had that event's logo on it, which I was kind of not expecting. I was just expecting to get some cool stuff, but I didn't realize the amount of effort that would go into making it event specific. Like, they gave us this H&R neat glass, and it's got the event logo on it. So that was really cool. The swag bag itself did. It's just a really, really cool event. And a lot of appreciation, a lot of thanks goes out to Dan and Sean for putting on the event. They put a ton into it. I hope that you guys were able to enjoy it as much as we did. And also a huge thank you to Ricky, Dan's wife, and Gabby, Sean's wife. They put in a lot of effort into this event that went behind the scenes that did not get seen. And so that is greatly appreciated. And then, so we had the event Saturday. It officially went from like 11 to 5. Then we did a bottle share back at the hotel, which is always fantastic. Such great people. There was an event there. We did a little bit of stuff. There's Friday night as well, but I'm not going to go into all that. And then some cool things. They did a cornhole tournament, and that was won by a couple of good dudes that actually beat me and my partner in the first round, destroyed us, and they went on to win. That was really cool. That was sponsored by the Highway, which is Brad Paisley's whiskey. They got some guitars, a couple growlers, and some whole pack of beer. And then there was a chip and stick, which is a golf chipping competition. I ended up in the finals. Wasn't expecting that. I thought I was out in the first round, and so I actually left the area when I was talking to some friends, and my competitor comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, we actually tied. You need to come back. We need to do a playoff." So I beat him in the playoff, and then I won the next 2 rounds, get into the finals, and then I lost in the finals. And I'll give you a little sneak peek of what that they gave prizes to first and second place, and what that was it was mystery prizes. So the winner got to choose, and the loser got what was left. So Dan and Sean, it was 3 mystery picks of theirs, 3 picks of theirs, and they had bundled two together or one. So the winner could choose 2 picks or 1 pick, and you didn't know before you chose. And the winner chose the 2 picks, and it was the Sagamore, the Snakefish Oil 2.0, and the I have a bottle. Oh, this one here, the finisher, the Starlight, a cognac finished. And so that was a bottle I bought when they did the release. So the guy that beat me chose 2, got those fantastic pours, fantastic whiskeys, and I would have been just as happy to get those. But then they gave me the single bottle, and it turned out to be the Stag Pick, Buck Hunt. So that was just a little bit more than awesome. I'll be reviewing this just after I shoot this, and I'll be posting that video on Friday, so be sure to stick around for that. All right, well, let's get into this Mayor Pingree. So this was a blend that Sean did with their master distiller, master blender. It is not age stated, but it's at minimum 4 years old. And it's got the sticker, Bourbon Junkies 2022 pours in the park. So the event, Friday night, the VIP event was at Valentine's Distilling. And so we got tickets, and they gave us 2 tickets. And there were 4 Pingree options to choose from, and then you could buy, there was a cash bar after, which was great. So I am new to Mayor Pingree. I believe I may have only seen it once in my area. It's not something that my area regularly gets. So I was very new to it, and so America, ooh, nice cork on that. And so I was Friday night was very new to me. There were several options. I only had 2. There was a 15-year called the Caroline. It was 15 years old, 136 point something proof. And then that was my first pour because it was the oldest and highest proof. And then the second pour I had was there was a 7-year, which was really good, and actually my favorite. There was some things that the lower proof on the 7-year, as well as for some reason it was more flavorful, that 7-year. So, but both fantastic. So let's get into this Mayor Pingree straight bourbon whiskey. This comes in at 94 proof, 47% ABV. It is non-chill filtered. And again, this was a blend that Sean and the master distiller did together. Dan was there, but he was apparently at that tasting. He wasn't drinking as much because he was driving, and so Sean did most of the tastings, and the blend that they chose ended up being his. Ooh, that's a very pretty nose. Very floral. Light fruitiness, like it's a light. It's almost like a perfume fruit. So it's not like a dense, deep, rich fruit. It's a light fruit. Okay. Hung in the nose a little too long. The ethanol got to me. Yeah, it's just very floral. I'm trying to pick out. Yeah, it's floral and it's light. I'm not getting any dense, not like burnt caramel, not like a deep pitted fruit or anything like that. And that's just that's just my subjective palate. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing your own reviews of your own whiskey. If you ever disagree with somebody, don't worry about it. It's subjective. Okay, the proof is kind of a builder. So hits the tongue and it's not very proofy. And it's still, if I were doing blind, I would still guess under 100 proof, but it kicks in a little bit in the mid palate. That's really good. The floralness carries through. Floralness carries through to the palate. Maybe a touch of rye spice. This is really solid. There's a sweetness to it. It's oily, so it's clinging. Like I haven't taken another. I don't believe I've taken another sip yet. Call me out if I have. It's clinging. I'm still getting it, which is nice. This is a great pour. It's not killing me on proof, and it is by no means boring. It is very, very solid. So this is a good sit down, sip and enjoy. This would be a great backyard sipper. Well, frankly, it would work. You can drink it anywhere, obviously, but maybe a touch of citrusiness. Maybe that's kind of the lightness, but it's not coming off like a lemon or a lime, not like a sour citrus. But I'm getting kind of the light, crisp refreshingness of a citrus, but I'm not picking out a specific citrus fruit. And I just blew my nose up. Okay, a little bit of brown sugar, maybe a little caramel kicking in at the end now. It's kind of evening out. It's very balanced. That's a good thing. I'm going to cut this video short because I'm at about 12 minutes and I like to be 13 or less. So this is the Bourbon Junkies Mayor Pingree blend that Sean did. That was my review of Pours in the Park. Go next year. It is such a fantastic event. And I will give this little caveat. I want to be completely blunt and honest with you guys. A lot of your enjoyment of these events falls on yourself. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. You can go and be a bump on a wall and have a bump on the wall experience. But the whiskey community embraces its own, embraces those that bring. So there were spouses that were there that weren't whiskey people. We embrace whoever is there, and we just want to have a good time. And we don't... but you have to put yourself out there a little bit, which as an extreme introvert is something that I'm not used to. And Whiskey Weekend opened my eyes to how to do that. So Pours in the Park, I was ready. I also had built some relationships from Whiskey Weekend. So go to the event. Start interacting with these channels online. You can be patrons of theirs. You can chat in their live streams. These are very personable people. I know that Dan and Sean have about 90,000 subs now, but they're very approachable people. They're very genuine. They're very, very friendly. They by no means take their success. It by no means gave them big heads. They're very genuine, down to earth people. Same thing with Matt. Matt is actually very shy, which is something that I learned at Whiskey Weekend. He's a relatively shy person, and so he's got his on-screen personality is a little bit different than who he is in person. Same genuine niceness, and he's a great person, but he's a little shyer than you'd expect. And so these guys take their successes that they've had. They don't expect to be paraded around on a pedestal or anything. They don't want to be either. And so go to these events. You get to meet them. You get to hang out with them. And I hope to see you next year at Pours in the Park 2023. For now, we will drink the Pingree from 2022. I'm going to down my glass real quick, which I don't normally do on my pours when I do videos. So that shows you how good it was. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.